everyone. Welcome. My name is Marilyn Shannon, and this is the Breaking Free Show. And I am so happy you're here today because it's a personal day for me. It's a great day. I'm excited. I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you've had a wonderful summer or wherever you are enjoying your day, your week, your month, your life. And I want to welcome Amnon because he's our producer and he's our everyman.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm just fine. How are you?
I'm good. Everything going good for you?
Everything is just hunky dory.
You had a good week, right?
Yes.
Good weekend?
Yeah.
Anything special that we should know about?
No,
Nothing?
nothing.
Okay.
Just
All right.
routine.
Just same old, same old?
Same old, same old
All
is a
right.
good thing.
All right, it's a good thing.
Yep.
Sometimes, that's funny. Sometimes we want things to change and we don't recognize what we already have. So, I know your time is precious and I'm delighted that you have chosen to be here with us today. It's a great day and I'm excited. So, every year, I have my mother on, Gloria, who comes to visit me for the summer. And each year, once during the summer, she comes on the show. And she was here. She came in last night. She flew in. And how fitting for me to invite my mother on the show for today. So I want to introduce all of you to my mother, Gloria. Hey, Ma.
Hi, Matt.
We're like a sidekick. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so honored to be here. I would have even just flown in had I known you want to be on this show.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Mom.
Thank
And
you.
so my mother is amazing. And for all of you, some of you know my mother. You've watched her before. And for those of you who don't, my mother just celebrated her 90th birthday. I know, kind of crazy, but she did. She just celebrated her 90th, and she is a twin. And my aunt and my mother are very much alike in the way they look, um, not always in the way they act, because of course they're individuals, but they are very similar in the way they look, and they're both extraordinary women. So I thought, what a wonderful opportunity today to invite my mother on and to share her with all of you and some of her insights. Because how do you live to be 90? I mean, it's hard to live sometimes each and every day to the fullest, and to have life be fulfilling and extraordinary and full of love and excitement and joy and gratitude. And my mother seems to have figured out, whether she realizes it or not, she has figured out a way to live her life to the fullest. And I just wanted to pick a couple of topics and like go for it. So as we go, we're going to have some fun with this today. So I have a little presentation as we go along, and I wanted to share some slides. So the first one, if you ever listen to our show, you know that it is a ticket to ride. It is a ticket to sit back and go, man, I want to say this, or I want to share this, or I feel this way, I feel that way, I don't feel this way, I don't agree with you here, I agree with you there, whatever it is. Here is your license, your ticket to express yourself, because part of this notion of breaking free is the power to trust yourself, to be empowered, to trust yourself, to live your life, to come from your heart and express yourself. And when you do, you do. And if there's something to clean up, heck, you clean it up. That's it, in a nutshell. So this is your ticket to call us at 919-518-9773. You can talk to me, you can talk to my mother, you can talk to the world, or you can connect with us on Skype, on computers, 2K Voice, and that way you can come in anytime you like on Skype from wherever you are in the world and check in with us about whatever it is. So we're just delighted to have you all, and here we go. And there's a lot of things going on. We have all kinds of lovely people on the chat. So I have my nieces in there. Oh, hi, Jenny. And she says, hi, Grandma and Aunt Mac.
Did you?
So, yes, she is. And we have some other friends in there. We have Nancy, and we have Cindy, and we have Chris. So if you all want to join the chat, please do. Just go in next to the video and put your name, nickname, whatever you like. And you too can be in the chat and talk to our friends in the chat as well. So here we go. Ready? Ready? Ma, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, here we go.
Ready to go.
Next, so Amnon, can you pull up the next slide? Oh, it's up. Oh, everybody's got a sense of humor. Okay, so one of the things that I want to offer all of you, and I'm passionate about listening, go figure. So if you go to my website, you will see the listening manifesto, and I'm really passionate about it. You just put your name in the little box there and get it for free. It is, it's a declaration of independence for each and every one of you when you tackle your listening. And listening makes life honest. So go check it out and tell me what you think. Okay, next slide. Beauty is ageless. Case in point. Have you ever seen a woman like this in your life who's 90? I mean, who drives a sports car? Because I don't. I sit back sometimes, and even I'm in amazement. I'm seriously, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about her. What does she cares about how she looks. She cares about how she feels. Mom, do you care? I mean, tell everybody. You care about,
I care about everything.
okay, like what?
I care about everything. My motto is, may I live as long as I want and want as long as I live. And that's what I live by. Every day I want, every day I live, and I'm appreciative and grateful for everything. And I'm enjoying everything because of feeling the way I do about everybody and everything. I'm not looking to find faults in people. I have lots of friends. I adore them all, and it's wonderful. I'm going to live for a long time.
And she has a lot of young friends too. I mean, she has friends that cover the spectrum, but she has a lot of young friends. So, I mean, she's always busy. I think she would go 24/7. So, Mom, when you say you want, like, what do you want? What are the kinds of things that you like to want?
If I say everything, would you
It's
have
okay.
an idea of what I want?
Well,
Everything.
everything. Good food.
Good
What?
food, be with good people. I want my children to be well, everybody I love to be well and happy and enjoying every minute of their lives. And I'm grateful for all my children. I think they've added a lot of pleasure and years and health to my life because of them being such joys in my life. And all my great grandchildren. Can't wait to see them, play
Well,
with
you'll
them,
see them
be
in a
with
minute.
them.
Next slide. So here is a picture of my mother and my aunt. My mother is a twin. And I just said my mother just celebrated her 90th birthday, so did my aunt. And as you can tell, they're both glamour queens. And so we just had this big, beautiful birthday party for my mother and my aunt up in New Jersey. And at the time of blowing out the candles, it was great because my cousin Barbara, who's a little younger than I am, once we blew out the candles, people were saying, "What? They're 90?" And we would prance them around the restaurant like they were Barbie dolls on a platter. I kid you not.
Did you have 90
Candles?
candles?
No.
Oh.
But we had some
Yeah.
flashy candles.
Yeah,
And we
my
pranced them, right? We pranced them around the restaurant, and we were introducing them to people we didn't even know, just saying, "They're 90." And people would look at us, "They're what?" "They're 90." And my children want to know, what is their secret? I mean, it is extraordinary. So maybe it is wanting and not feeling guilty about wanting and enjoying life. What? I'm
A
not-
drink every now
drink?
and then.
Oh,
Some
yes, I
cigars.
enjoy
No, I talk to her at night.
Cigars.
No,
A cigar?
I talk to her at night and I'll say, "So what did you have for dinner?" "Well, I had some hummus and crackers and a little bit of wine." "Mom, that would be in her apartment. Then it would be, "Well, I went to Judy's and we had wine." I mean, this is how she lives. This is how
This
she
is your
lives.
mother.
This is my mother.
L'chaim.
This is why I am who
Try
I
it, you'll
am.
like it.
This is why I am who I am, and I stick by it. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, comments, you want to call in, please feel free, 919-518-9773, or certainly contact us through Skype, computers, 2K Voice, and you'll come in and would love to have you, anything. So let me see what's going on. Okay, so Sassy Chris has a question for you. Let's see. If it were an entry into the dictionary, under which word would people find you? If you were a dictionary word, that's an interesting question. If you were a dictionary word, a word that's already there, what word would you put for yourself? Great question.
Phenomenal.
You put yourself as phenomenal?
Well, I just like the word fabulous. I can't stand that word.
So you're phenomenal. What makes you phenomenal?
Because I enjoy life so much.
You are
Because
marvelous.
It is the joy of my life.
Life is the joy of your life.
Right.
Okay, so phenomenal. So let me ask you a question. What do you think of technology?
I think it's the greatest. And anybody who deprives themselves, carrying things too far could be objectionable. But if you limit yourself to enjoying it and not detrimental to other people, I think it's the greatest. I love it. I play the games. I take pictures. I see what's going on with all my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, my children. The news. I read the news on my iPhone. And I enjoy it more than watching television because television is so opinionated by the media and all that it doesn't come across as being as honest. When I read it, I feel that people who put it on Facebook or wherever is true.
It comes from
It
people.
comes from people.
And people, sometimes people you know.
Yes, and I enjoy it. I love it. And it's sometimes they intimate some jokes in between, which I'm hysterical about. So it's an entertaining form of entertainment for me. And I think everybody should engage in it because I would not ever give it up since I've had a taste of what the iPhone and technology has become.
Cool.
There you go.
All right. All right, so here we go. So now you saw my mother and my Aunt Bern. And, it was interesting growing up as a child because it was like I had two mothers. And, I remember a time when I was really quite little and I went over to my aunt thinking she was my mother. So, they always looked the same. And you were both in the same classes growing up, always. And you wore the same clothes. Always. Grandpa always bought you the same clothes.
My mother, always.
And how was that?
And at the beginning of the school year, she'd go up to the principal and make sure we were in the same class.
How'd you like that? Never being separated.
It was wonderful. I have no objection to it. I think it was great. It didn't do us any harm. We're still individuals today because I'm a firm believer that environment and circumstances and exposure make you who you are. So the fact that we were like glued to each other when we were young, we sprouted our wings when we grew.
And they sprouted, boy.
And we're our own person now.
Now let's hear your story about a story about something that you mistaking your aunt for your mom or vice versa.
Well, I remember being at a pool or being somewhere for the summer and going up and hugging my aunt. And I remember just at her being thigh level and hugging her from the thigh and then looking up and going, oh, that's not my mother.
Yeah.
But, people look at them and go, and, have a hard time telling them apart. They wear their hair a little different. They dress a little bit differently, but that was pretty extraordinary. And growing up, we spent some time over the weekend together, every weekend. We lived in New York. They lived in New Jersey. So it wasn't like they lived around the block. It was an hour away, an hour and a half away, whatever it was. Every weekend, we would go to their house or they would come to our house. Every weekend we spent together.
My sister's children, I remember, used to come from the back and pull my dress or my apron and say, Mommy, oh, that's not my mommy, it's Aunt Gloria.
And they wore the same
From the back.
clothes.
And I've been on the street with her walking in New York, Madison Avenue, Fifth Avenue, people come up and say, you girls are twins. They detected that from the back of us, not ever seeing our faces. So we are alike.
Well, they are alike. So, and we'll get more into the twin story. So, on to the next. Okay, so beauty and femininity are ageless and can't be contrived. And glamour cannot be manufactured. Marilyn Monroe. So it really isn't. And so what my mother really feels is coming from the inside. I mean, she can put beautiful lipstick on and she wears her hair gorgeous, right? Colored perfect, necklace, all that stuff. But really, what's the driving force of the outside is how you feel on the inside. So regardless of the necklace, regardless of the lipstick, doesn't matter. Whatever's going on the inside is what prompts the outside. It's very important. What are you thinking? Yeah?
I'm thinking about that glamour shots. They
Yeah.
are manufacturing, and a lot of women, a lot of men probably are using a picture from glamour shots
but
for the thing, and it's manufactured.
Right, but how?
But the minute they walk away,
yeah.
It's
But the way we live today, I mean, it's not the picture.
Right.
So, Mom, what is your philosophy about relationships?
Very important. I think everybody needs somebody or people. And I think it adds to a lot of pleasure in your life every day. I find it necessary. I love people, and I think it's a necessity to have somebody to talk to, somebody to confide in, somebody to love. More than one person. There's a world of people out there. You have to pick and choose who you enjoy and who you want to be with.
And you always, friends,
yeah,
always had lots of friends.
Always, because I think I'm very particular about who I choose as a friend, and they're forever. A lifetime, forever.
And how do you keep friends?
By being a friend. Extending yourself, loving them, caring about them, giving, not overdoing it in any way, but just enough. And I've always kept my friends. I've never, thank God, lost anybody except some unfortunate situations, but I make a friend forever.
All right. Next slide. It's never too late to be what you might have been. George Eliot. It's interesting. It's because I'm 61, and I'm just approaching some of the things in my life for the first time. And I'm not talking about the things that come naturally to a 60, 61, 55, whatever year old, 70-year-old, grandchildren, whatever. I'm talking about things like starting new things, new business opportunities, meeting new people, doing new things. And so I believe very strongly in this, that it's never too late to try something different. And Mom, my mother is in the process of redoing her kitchen. And when I tell that to people, they look at me like, she is? Yeah. Because why not, right? You're redoing your kitchen.
I can't wait.
She can't wait. Flashy, too.
I love it. No,
yeah, it's going to be pretty. And
well, that's what I said. As long as I live, I want. It's never too late for anything. And I believe in going ahead. I don't believe in settling for anything. If there's better out there, go for it. If you like your life, okay. If you don't like your life, change it. But we're in control of our own destiny. Can't blame anybody but ourselves. And I always feel that the world is big and you got to go for it. If you don't, you may be sorry for it. But who wants to be sorry for anything? We do the best we can do with whatever opportunities we have and take advantage of it, because there's plenty of opportunity out there. You're in control of your own destiny.
What do you think of traveling?
I love it. Here I am. They very rarely come to me because everybody truly is involved, justly so. They have
You meaning your children and grandchildren, you like to travel to them, but what about the world? What do you think of traveling?
I loved traveling when I did it. I don't know how I would respond to it today. It may be a little taxing and tiring, but if I did it gradually and at a pace that I could enjoy, I would go for it. But I'd have to have people with me.
Well,
And,
just say the word.
I can say something.
Go ahead.
If she wanted to, she would have.
She would go.
That's
Right.
it. I mean,
If
there's
she
probably
wanted
no
to-
reason for you to
If
go.
I say to her, Mom, you want me to help you on the gravel? Because Amnon's has a gravel driveway leading up to the studio. No, I'll do it myself. I'm like, okay, I'm rolling over the rocks.
You maybe would fall
I'm like,
over the
I'm like,
rocks.
could you hold my hand, please? Oh my gosh, it's a riot.
You could have driven her to the door.
I could have. So listen, 919-518-9773. You're more than welcome to call in anybody. Please do. And on Skype computers, 2K Voice, if you like to connect with us on Skype. You can write into the chat. And for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, my name is Marilyn Shannon, and this is Skywire. Sorry, that's my Google show. This is Breaking Free.
Skywire is when?
Is on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Google Plus, and it's all about listening. And today, though, I'm here with my mother, who comes once a year to our show, usually. She comes and spends the summer with me and my family, and she came last night. So fitting that I would swoof her up from her comfortable bed this morning and say, come on, do the show with me today. And being the trooper that she is, she said, okay, what are we talking about? She said to me at 11:30. We air at 1. I said, don't worry about it, Mom. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. It's going to be perfectly fine. So anyway, my mother has just turned 90, and she's a twin, for all of you that are tuning in for the first time. All right, next one. Next beautiful slide. Here we go. This is a picture of my mother that I wanted to share with all of you, and her 10 great-grandchildren at her party. And, of course, she's holding a baby that was a month old at the time, I think, right? So there's one girl in the very front, and that's Lily. And then sitting down next to Lily is, in the red shirt, is my grandson, Liev, who's now 10 months old. He was 9 months old at the time. And then my other grandson, who's 3.5. And then all of my nephews in the back, my great-nephews and my mother's great-grandchildren. And they're just all adorable, and we love them passionately. Again, Mom, what do you think?
Oh, they're my world. They are absolutely my world. They call me Gigi. And every time they say Gigi, I melt. So that's another reason for my being so happy and well and grateful for being here today. They had every pleasure in my life.
So, Mom, just a little sidebar. Could you untangle your necklace and tangle it up again?
Oh, sure.
All right, here's a demo.
There I am. I did it myself. Okay, ready?
Go.
Takes but a minute. And you too could look like this. With a necklace. There we are.
It's never the same way twice, but then again, okay. So the great-grandchildren love her to pieces. And just, you can see. I mean, you can see the expressions on my mother's face. Anyway, it's a beautiful picture. And that was a gift for her birthday, was to have all the great-grandchildren and the photographer with her. So, Mom, what do you think about art?
Art in general?
Yeah, paintings.
Love it. If I had my options, I would have paintings all over the walls in my house. Because every time I look at them, I get pleasure. I see something new that I hadn't seen the day before. And they're an endless picture. And I think they add warmth and interest to a home. And I love them. I had my options, I'd have them in every room all over the walls.
She would.
Like a museum.
She would. Let's see. What do we got here? So Chris is asking. Okay, so Chris, who's our co-producer and all kinds of stuff, she wants to know. So I have rheumatoid arthritis as a child, juvenile arthritis, and what she's asking is, how did my mother come to terms with the diagnosis of arthritis when I was a young child? How did you come to terms with it?
Wasn't easy, but I searched far and wide, going for consultations. Marilyn was 10 months old when she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And I went to a pediatrician from the day she was born. I wasn't happy. She wasn't finding anything wrong with her, and I found her knee was kind of paralyzed. Her leg was bent. And I took her to my internist, my family doctor, and I said, here is a baby, take care of her. And he said, has anybody taken blood tests? I said, no. That's the first thing we have to do. Nobody had taken a blood test, no pediatricians. I took her for the blood test, and that was the answer to my prayer. From that blood test, they found that she had rheumatoid arthritis. I forget what you call the...
Juvenile.
Yeah, but the type of blood test.
Cedrate.
Cedrate. Thank you, Marilyn. And from
I've
that
had them.
moment on, my internist said you need the best pediatrician. And I called and made an appointment with the best that I knew of. And he was the best. He sent her to an orthopedist who took care of her, put her on prednisone at that time, and all kinds of heat treatments. And I went to the hospital for special surgery in Manhattan with her regularly. And the treatment there was to put her in a swimming pool at that age, at 10 months, a year old. And they kept her in the water, and that was the therapy that they used on her. And also I used heat pads. Her leg is straight today. She had one relapse when she was 7 years old. And otherwise, and she was on prednisone for 1 full year. And I remember the doctor saying to me it could have many side effects, but she could also be paralyzed if she doesn't go on it. I said, well, let's do it. And thank goodness, she came through all the medication for 1 full year, and she was fine. I'm grateful today because I'm sure the care and the attention and the treatment that she got as an infant is what made her a healthy 60-year-old woman today. We all have aches and pains, but that's normal. But nothing more than that has she been left with. So there too, I'm grateful for the doctors that I had and for who they were and what they did for her. So thank God and thank you, man.
All right. And I'm doing great. Okay, so here we go. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Never too old to do that, right? Life is too short, and we are never too old to take it on. Never too old. I mean, because age is only a number. It's like a figment of our imagination. I mean, honestly, we're never too old. So we just keep on taking on new goals, dreaming, all of those things, and enjoying. And sometimes it's good to set short-term goals. I mean, sometimes we get caught in thinking that we have to take on the mother load of goals. We don't have to. A short-term goal is just as powerful, and sometimes maybe even more powerful. Because think about this. Take a short-term goal, make it. Take a short-term goal, make it. Take a short-term goal, adjust it. Take a short-term goal, make it. As opposed to, I'm going to wait till I lose 50 pounds before I recognize the 10-pound goal. or the 20-pound goal. I got to wait till 50 to acknowledge myself. Heck no. Acknowledge the 10, the 15, the dress size. Acknowledge the bra size, the shirt size. Acknowledge all of it. Don't wait for the final hurrah. Because who knows? By the time you build up to that final hurrah, it's never as good as that 10, 15, 20. Man, look what I'm fitting into now. Look what I'm accomplishing now. Look what I did now. So set those short-term goals and acknowledge yourself along the way. Were you going to say something?
The way that I explain it is, don't set up a goal that you're going to fail in, or you're going to feel like you failed in. If you say, I'm going to wait till 50, you may get to 45 and say, I didn't make it to 50. And you don't think about, but I made it 45. And that's what you're talking about.
But I think a lot of time,
short time.
And it's very important because fear gets in our way. So fear doesn't know. Fear gets in the way of big goals and little goals, but little goals are more attainable than the chunk, and we can end up at the chunk. We can certainly end up with the chunk, but it's so much easier to accomplish those and kind of like, I gotta go for it. Okay, I only have to do it a day, or let me just do it for an hour and try it. Just a baby step. I always tell people too, a goal of exercising. Get on the treadmill for 5 minutes. Don't have to get on for an hour and 2 hours and 5 minutes. Do that today. Do that tomorrow. Do that the next day until you're bored with 5 minutes. I promise you. You're going to be bored with 5 minutes. You're going to want 10 minutes. And then you're going to say, I'll go for the half hour. And then you're watching a whole TV show or something for an hour, or you're walking. It's much better that way. Now, let's see, Nancy. Susiani wants to know, what is Gloria's key to being so serene? What is her secret? What's your secret to being serene? To being calm?
I guess it's a package.
She's not
everything contributes to it.
And she lives and she expresses herself.
And I'm a firm believer in exercising. I have gone to the gym for maybe 45 years, regularly. All these years.
I think
I'm still doing it.
Actually.
Yeah, more. Probably 50 years.
Okay,
but belonging to a gym, going regularly, doing it at home, I still do it.
How do you keep? And here's another one. How do you keep your mind so sharp? Do you read? Do you do crossword puzzles? What do you do?
A little bit of everything.
You don't do crossword puzzles, but she reads.
No, I read.
She reads. She watches TV. Some, not much. She reads Facebook. She has deep conversations. She has friends calling her. She should be hanging out a shingle. People call her and want to know, what she should do with this and how she should do that, and nothing gets by her very easily.
And I find the time. I don't rush friends off the phone if they're telling me something that's important to them. I listen to them, and they're grateful for it. And it's just give and take.
So Nancy is on the chat. Nancy, do I know you? I don't know, but Nancy says, as a mother, your prayers for Marilyn's recovery was a large part of the success of her remission and recovery.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. And it wasn't an easy road for you or for me. But I had a lot of support. My mother, friends, family, all the way. I did.
Yep. Well,
but I did it.
Mothers are amazing. Mothers have and fathers too. I love men. I'll tell you what, I'm really loving men lately. Mothers, fathers, men, women. There are some really great people out here in this world.
But I think everybody needs everybody.
Everybody needs everybody.
A mother and a father.
Or, friends. Everybody. I mean, we don't give each other enough credit. we're not giving human race enough credit because of some of the people that are not so nice, so great, so you know loving. Some of the people who are dangerous, but they're not everybody. More people are kind, generous, compassionate, powerful, loving, smart, intuitive. What? I'm not any other question.
You.
They're there for you. I mean, we need to give each other more credit as friends. I mean, more and more. I mean, if you say to somebody, "I could use your help today," how do you feel about asking somebody for help? How do you feel about that?
I think it's wonderful. You're not imposing or overstepping. You're welcome. You need help. And if it's a good friend or somebody who cares about you, without any question, they'll be there for you.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's really important that we help each other. We reach out. We ask each other for favors. We return the favor. We thank each other with a little gift, with a little note. That we are there for each other. We all have friends for different reasons. People come into our lives for different things. Just open our eyes, look around. We're all innocent. We are all innocent. We're all learning, growing, practicing, sharing. Excuse me. We're all innocent. And one person knows one thing. One person knows something else. Somebody doesn't know this. Somebody doesn't know that. Somebody doesn't want to know this, but they want to know that. So they go over here because this person knows this better than they do. So what? It's fabulous. We weren't all given the same experiences, likes, dislikes, desires. I mean, we're here to use and help each other. Use each other, help each other. And we make too much out of things. So moving right along. Oh, Nancy. Nancy Long from Harmony Farms. Nancy. Okay, so here's a little commercial for Nancy. If you live in the Raleigh, Triangle, Durham area, Nancy owns a store called Harmony Farms in North Raleigh. She's a naturopath. She's fabulous. She knows so much about everything. I mean, everything. I would trust that store to the max. I went in today to pick up a few things, and they spent time with me. They wrote out the directions. From the arthritis, I have teeth issues, and I have gum issues. And so the doctor wanted to put me on an antibiotic. I don't want to go on an antibiotic. I went on antibiotics when I was young, and it played havoc on my body. I don't want to do that. I want to go on things that are going to replenish me, not take away from me. And so Nancy is helping me with that. Her store is helping me with that, and it's wonderful. So if anyone's out in North Raleigh and you can go into Nancy's store, do so. Tell her you saw, you heard about her on the Breaking Free show. How about that? All right. So good to have you here, honey. Anybody else out there that I don't know, please call in 919-518-9773 or Skype in with us at Computers 2K Voice. And from anywhere in the world, we'd love to have you as well as the chat. Please feel free. Any other questions, let me know. Suziani's talking about her aunt who just turned 94. She spoke to her the other day. She was telling me how she needs Avidity. What is that? I don't know what that is. Books. Oh, she's an avid reader, I guess. I asked her if she had any favorite authors. She said, hold on. I keep a running list of all the books I read so I do not forget and read the same book twice. That's a good quote. That's a great quote. Excellent quote. All right. That's a good one. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm done. Thank you. All right, here we go. I am happy to report that my inner child is still ageless. What do you think, Ma? What about your inner child? The inside of you, that
well, I guess that's what contributes to the outside.
That's what
of me, right? And I'm enjoying that as much as anything else.
So, Amnon, what about your ageless? What about your inner child?
I'm still a little kid.
You're still a little kid
Don't
on the
take me
inside.
seriously.
Don't? Of course, well, I never have. Why should I start now? Oh my God! Oh my God! The inner child. It's an interesting conversation about the inner child, because, when I think about myself and when I see something that I saw as a child, I'm that child again. When my mother was talking about me, I don't remember, waking up at 10 months old and not being able to straighten out my leg. I don't remember that. I remember 7 years old, but I don't remember 10 months old, excuse me. But I still get that feeling. There's a feeling that comes with your inner child. That the inner child wants to be loved, hugged, be a part of something. The inner child wants to be supported. The inner child wants to be accepted. The inner child wants to be
a child.
Wants to play. Isn't it time that we don't deny that? Some of us don't deny that part of ourselves, that inner child that likes color and wants to just be in life and play. So, thank goodness that inner child is still a child and hasn't grown up, because that's what helps keep us young, is that inner child. Keeps us with a fresh new look on life, fresh new way of experiencing life. And for some, at times, it can be a conflict, because our inner child saying, do this. And then the other part, I can't do that, I'm 90. Hello?
I had a friend say to me the other day, and she's bubbling and vibrant and has all her marbles and everything. She said, I can't believe that you're getting on a plane by yourself. I said, why not? I would never. I'm 92 years old. It's 5 years since I got on a plane because I have nobody to get on the plane with me. I said, well, there's your answer. You ain't going anyplace, but I am. I said, so I got on a plane yesterday. It was wonderful. I absolutely enjoyed it tremendously.
Hey, Ma, you want a little water?
No, schnapps.
She wants a little liquor. No, have a little sip. You don't want any? Have a sip.
No.
Yesterday at the airport, my mother's we get out of the airport. Here's a funny story. I pick her up. I go in and get her, and the attendant is wheeling. She takes a wheelchair when she goes through, getting off the plane, on the plane. It's a far walk. So my husband's waiting for her outside. So we get outside, and all of a sudden, this woman comes running up to me from behind and hugs me, and I took a gasp. I'm like, who is this? She's my husband's brother's girlfriend, who met my mother in Florida. Long story. And so anyway, her mother flew in on the same plane as my mother. They were sitting next to each other in the airport, talking to each other, and didn't know who each other were.
Strangers.
Got to be careful all the time.
Could you believe that?
I mean, show up. Show up.
We got to the airport here in Raleigh, and this Madeline came running over and kissed Marilyn, kissed me, and I look at her car, and there's her mother sitting in the car. I said, that's your mother? She said, yes, she just got here. I said, I was sitting and talking to her at the airport. Would you believe it?
You got to be on your best behavior.
The two of us were sitting next to each other, talking. And she was Madeline's mother.
So it was really kind of funny. But anyway.
Small world.
So,
I want to say something about the inner child.
Yeah, go ahead.
Advice. If you ever see that inner child getting out of you and walking away or running away, I don't care how old you are. Run after it and get it and put it back.
That's a really... Wow, Amnon, that's deep.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Why is that not deep?
It's not. It's just...
So listen. So what do you... So, okay. So when your inner child gets away from you, go back and get it.
Run after it.
Make all the efforts in the world.
That's
I don't care
really a lovely thought. Think about that. If you get away from your inner child,
if he gets away from you.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. If you deny it, it's getting away from you, right? If you deny it, if you don't play with it, if you don't acknowledge it, if you forget about it, if you don't want to, I can't do that. I'm 92. I can't go on the plane. I can't drink this. I can't eat this. I don't like hearing that from anybody, really, because
you can do what you want to do.
I mean, with people like Nancy Long, and I mean, you don't have to go by what was. You can go by a new what is. But that's an interesting thought. So if you get away from your inner child, or you allow your inner child to get away from you, come back and get it. bring it back in, right? Mm-hmm. Is somebody saying something? Love synergy. Heck yeah. I love synergy. All right. So, next one, please. Okay. So, I am in the process of, and I'm declaring this. So, I've been working on writing a series of books. I'm not there yet. I'm an author in training, but I have things to say. And I have been working on writing a book about conflict and getting along and creating peace and how people do it, how they get along, what they say, what they do, what they don't do, what the questions are they can ask, listening to the answers, all of those things. And so I decided that I was going to write a book about, husbands and wives was the first one. And I'm reaching out to people asking for people's personal stories. So by all means, please send me any story you have of being in a relationship, whether it's a colleague, a person down the street, your best friend, your brother, sister, mother, it doesn't matter. I'm welcoming them because I'm going to be writing these books. You can send it to Marilyn at marilynshannon.com. Anyway, so I've been looking for these stories and I'm accumulating them. But in the meantime, I have a mother and a twin sister aunt, and they have major differences of opinion. That's very interesting. And so I've decided to write the first book based on my mother and my aunt because I find it fascinating. And it's not only a relationship like theirs is so interesting, and then how it spills over into the rest of us with my cousins, and it's just very interesting. So I've decided to tackle this relationship in writing this book. So if you have any insight, firsthand information about twins, identical or fraternal, I'm writing mostly about these two identical twins because how many times can you have two twins that look like them, act like them, and are 90? So they're great specimens. So I am going to write this book. If you have any insight about twins, if you know anyone who is an authority about twins, please, 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 please send them in my direction. I welcome any information that you can pass along to me. So once again, Marilyn at marilynshannon.com. So Mom, what do you think about eating out and like cooking, eating out, food? What's your thoughts about that?
I love to cook. That was my forte in college.
Art. That's her art.
I graduated.
Don't mess with her in the kitchen.
So we know that.
We know that. I know that.
But I also love to eat in restaurants.
Yes, she does.
I enjoy it tremendously. And I do both. And excel in both.
Yes, she does. She has excellent taste, but oh my God, in the kitchen, listen, she's a hard act to follow in the kitchen for sure. So I don't try. I eat a lot of Whole Foods chicken. But nonetheless, she's the kind that she has these butter cookies that she's made for years that were my grandmother's. And they're like these little balls, and she takes a thumbtack with flour and she makes a hole.
A thimble.
A thimble, a thimble. With a hole. And then she fills it with jelly. Every cookie is the same. Every dollop of jelly is the same. It's not like, oh, well, what the heck, that's a little bigger. Oh, well, that's a little smaller. Oh, that's a little browner. Oh, that's a little whiter. Or, oh, it dribbled on the outside. No dribbles on that cookie. Every cookie is the same. And that's how she cooks. And when she comes to my house, I'm the sous chef. And so anyway, she is an excellent cook. She has, in fact, my daughter and my son-in-law have launched a new business. And one day I'll have them on, but he's not ready yet. They're not ready yet. But they launched a new business. They both work full-time jobs, but they launched a knish business, and I don't know if all of you have ever heard of a knish, but it's like a hard pastry, and inside the knish is either sweet potato. They have sweet potato, regular potato, or kasha, which is a buckwheat, and you find them in New York and Chicago and big cities, and it's a ethnic-y kind of.
It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. You eat them hot.
Wonderful.
So they launched a business called Knish
Delish.
And they have a Facebook page. You go like it. They're selling in Raleigh in a market, and my son-in-law is extremely particular about. And he's the creator, and my daughter does all the merchandising and all that stuff. So anyway, he's working on this recipe, and he's working on it. And my mother, mind you, spending the night there while he's working on the recipe. And he's adding onions and working on it. She's busting to tell you now, but I'm gonna let her. No. You want to tell because you were there. I wasn't there. So she did not like the way he was doing the onion. So Ma, take it away.
So he made the mixture. And he put onions in, and it wasn't tasteful. And I sat there and I said to myself, I don't know, should I say something? But why shouldn't I? In a nice way, I'd be helpful. So I said, Mike, you know what, sweetheart? If you saute the onions and put a reasonable amount in the mashed potato, it's so much tastier and worth trying. So he said, really? I said, yeah. And this must have been about 10 o'clock at night. I was sleeping there one night. And so he said, I'm going to do that. And he started making the mashed potatoes all over again and sauteing onions. And I went to bed about 12 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I smelled knishes. So I went downstairs and I said, oh, are you still in the kitchen, Mike? Yep. He said, I made the knishes with the mashed potatoes and the onions, and they are delicious. And he said, that is the reason why my knish business is what it is today. It's the truth. My grandmother told me to put the onions in the mashed potatoes, and that's what he's doing, and it's wonderful. Yep. So I was one of those reasons.
Yeah, the main reason, really. So the main reason, the main reason.
And I forgot about it until one day I saw it on Facebook, and I said, "Oh my God!"
Well, there was an article written about the knishes,
yes,
and so he attributed the knishes, the taste of the knishes, to
he wrote about
the way she does onions, because nobody makes an onion like my mother. My niece is on the chat, and I don't know why she hasn't called in, but Jenny, if we have a few minutes if you want to call in, 919-518-9773. By all means, do that, because I know you could shed a little light on some of this, but give us a call. All right. So that was Knish. So everything we do is that her? Hello?
Where was it?
Oh, how would you know? You're not looking. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Okay, so say hello.
See what that does to me?
How you doing?
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, sweetheart. I can always depend on you. I adore you with all my heart. All of you. But it's so wonderful hearing from you. And I'm on the show. Could you believe it?
You really are a superstar.
Yeah, tell everybody in your words.
In your eyes.
Go ahead.
No, in everybody's eyes, Grandma. Come on. We got to get you on the Today Show already.
So, okay, go ahead. So everybody loves her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jenny, you got to get away from... Can you walk away from your computer a minute?
Or mute.
Or mute your computer because you're vibrating back.
All right,
you go ahead.
There we go.
All right. So go ahead. Give a little insight.
All right. So, lately, I have a story because lately everybody saw all my pictures from Grandma's and Aunt Bernice's birthday. And everywhere I go, anyone I know from Facebook has been, oh my God, I can't get over your grandma and her sister. There is no way they're 90. Do they look like that all the time? And I go, yep. They sure do, and they have forever. They just very particular, but in a good way, and we've all learned from that.
Haven't you given her your shoes that you didn't want anymore?
Yes. Sure, the ones.
I say that there's always a bell going off in the house for a different face cream that has to go on. Or a vitamin.
Or an exercise class.
There's always ringing. There's always ringing happening.
No, you have to explain what you're talking about, because she sets timers.
Yeah, she sets timers.
For her, she has a process of the cream she puts on her face, how long they stay there. So she's always it's like one of those kitchen timers.
Yeah.
So the timer will go off, and it's one thing, and then it's another one, right?
Yeah, there's one for vitamins. There's one for face cream.
Exactly. Anything else you can add?
Besides that, she teaches me how to live.
And how does she do that?
I don't think there's anything wrong with. I was listening to the part about the wanting.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with me wanting more, as long as I stay grateful for what I have.
That's right.
And I adore all the things
smart.
you write on Facebook. They're so intuitive and so bright and so appropriate, Jenny. It makes you what you are.
It's from you, Grandma. Love you.
I contribute, but it's also what you do and make of it, sweetheart. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
That's true.
All right,
You
Jen.
want to bang it into some people's heads, but you can't do that.
No, you can't.
Well, try, Jenny.
Well, you used to make plenty fun of me. That's for sure.
Well, you're crazy.
Someday you're going to come
All right,
on.
I love you.
I love you too. All right,
All
love
right.
you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Jenny.
All right, love you. Bye.
Love you too. All right, a little glimpse into my crazy family. But there's more where that come from. One day I will have to have like a whole thing. But we are what we are, and we are like this. This is exactly how it is. You got a question? I'm none. All right. So here we go. Next slide. So on my website, I have a place called Marilyn's Favorite Things, and I want to populate it with all of your things. So if you have a product, a service, a piece of art that is yours, I would love to put it there. You can become an advertiser, marketer on my site, as well as I'll put it there for free. But you can do things on here on the Breaking Free show. I'd love to have you, and we'll combine it all. So Marilyn at MarilynShannon.com will give you all the information. We have newsletters, we all kinds of stuff to help expose you to wonderful people doing wonderful things who want to support each other. This is a wonderful community of people out here, I should say. So let me know, Marilyn at MarilynShannon.com. And I have the next slide. The next one is a book that I wrote, an ebook, and it's about leadership and listening. A lot of you out there are in the business world, in the business community, and listening is the ticket. Listen. I love when I do that. What is going to make the difference between one person and another one is how they listen. And I don't mean just on the level that you think it is, that you think listening is, that you engage with somebody else. It's the levels beneath the level, beneath the level, beneath the level that tells you things about people, places, time, experiences, all of those things. So here is an ebook. It's free. Just go to Marilyn at MarilynShannon.com and you can download it and get it. And it's not a big book because I don't usually take a lot of time to write things. So if I'm going to write something, I'm going to spit it out, get it out, and give the message. So by all means, do that. And then I'm supposed to, this Friday, have a webinar about working with your children in school, how to resolve the school conflicts that our teens have in schools, between our parents, the parents, kids, schools, all that stuff. You can go to the next link, which Amnan's going to put up, which is http bit.ly school conflicts, and you can sign up for it. It's a free webinar. It's going to be like a roundtable webinar because it is visual. I love visual things because I love to bring people together. I like people to work together. So this is a visual thing. You can sign up on Eventbrite. There might be a chance that I don't do it because my internet is not happy at my house, and that's where I would be doing it from. But sign up anyway, and if we don't do it, we will let you know what the rain date or internet rain date will be. So anyway, final words, Mom?
Great. Anytime you want me, I'm here. Love every minute of it.
And I love having her on, and I love sharing her with you, and I want to thank you all. Amnon, thank you so much for doing everything today.
Thank you, Amnon.
And everybody on the
because of you,
yeah,
too.
Of course. And everybody out there, we appreciate your being here and sharing all this fun with us and all these experiences, and it's lovely to have you. We'll be here next week. I believe next week we have another guest, not my mother, not my aunt, but another guest. Won't be me alone, I don't think. And if you have a story to tell, something that's breaking free, something that's going to help each and every one of us have an easier time of our life, be freer, be more expressive, have more fun, have our inner child and our outer child be together, connected, let me know. And with that, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Bruck, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCBVI members, The Tanya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.